Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. People must be balanced with profits. This from the Disruptive Leadership Conference in Trinidad and Tobago. This story takes the lead in today's edition of Caribbean Perspective for Tuesday, 21st November 2023, brought to you in association with our friends at Antillian Group. Details when we return.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all, perils big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so glad to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Welcome back. Guardian Group CEO Ian Chinnapo has urged the leaders to create a generative work culture for employees to ensure they become more productive. Speaking at the Disruptive Leadership Conference on Friday, Mr. Chinnapo spoke about balancing people with profits. He noted that employees no longer just work at an organization for a salary, but want an organization to share and recognize their value. More in this TTT News item.
So guys, there is no balancing people and profits. People drive profitability. Profit generation is broader than a number if it's to be sustainable. You can win once on profit, but if you're going to make profit every year, it has to be driven by somebody. And you had to sleep.
Mr. Chinnapo said he also came up with an idea at his organization to analyze why talent is retained or lost, noting that a company endures a major loss when high-performing people are not at their best.
Are we retaining talent? I introduced a metric that they hadn't tracked before called regretted losses. People who left that we did not want to leave. Because some organizations, dysfunctional, toxic organizations, once you say you're leaving, but we didn't want you anyway. No, I want to know why you left, because we want you. We want this skill set. We want this talent.
The two-day Disruptive Leadership Conference was held at the Hilton Hotel and Conference Center.
Former Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Timothy Harris, has officially responded to an investor and CEO of MSR Media, Felipe Martinez, through a letter from his legal representative. Mr. Martinez, in a letter dated November 17th, addressed to Mr. Harris and two other persons, stated his intention to file a lawsuit in U.S. courts, making several charges in relation to the management of the St. Kitts and Nevis Citizenship by Investment Program. The letter from Dr. Harris's lawyers, dated November 18th, 2023, said Mr. Martinez's letter contains words that are defamatory. Andre Huey of SKN Newsline reports.
The letter read, quote, "These words mean and were understood to mean that our client is guilty of various fraudulent and illegal activities, including fraud, money laundering, tax evasion, and corruption in the course of his administration and management of the government of St. Kitts and Nevis as its Prime Minister. All the allegations made against me are entirely false, and the attack on him is unjustified. He has not engaged in any of the fraudulent or illegal activities alleged. Under his leadership, the CBI program was highly regarded. The approval of your MSR Media SKN project was made in compliance with the law and principles of integrity and good governance." End quote. The lawyers contend that the charges in Mr. Martinez's letter amount to a very serious libel. In the circumstances, our client requires from you, as a matter of urgency, a full and unequivocal public retraction and apology in terms to be approved by us, a statement in court, and an undertaking not to repeat these allegations. End quote. Mr. Martinez has been given until Tuesday, November 21, to respond. I'm Andre Huey for SKN Newsline.
In other news, top cop in Trinidad and Tobago tell criminal gangs they are coming after them. More in the CNC3 News item with Shane Superville.
The arrest of several high-ranking gang members has done little to soothe tensions in East Port of Spain as 2 men were killed and 2 others wounded after a shooting on Friday. Police said 43-year-old Jason Alexander and 26-year-old Shondell Bernard were speaking at the corner of St. Paul Street and Rodney Street when a black BMW drove up to them. Two gunmen got out of the car and shot both men several times, killing them. When CNC3 News visited the area, Bernard's relatives were too distraught to speak, but noted that he was employed with the PTSD and was on his way to work when the shooting began. Hours before the murder, a minimart in Betham was reportedly shot at on Thursday night, but no one was hurt. Residents told CNC3 that no one reported the shooting to the police. In a voice note sent to the media on Friday, Police Commissioner Earl Haywood Christopher vowed continued police action against criminals and warned gang members that they would be dealt with according to the law.
The criminals have made their intentions clear, and so have we. And our message to them is, if you intend to be on the wrong side of the law, know that we are coming after you. The question is not if, but when. We will get you.
As of Friday evening, at least 18 gang members remained in custody as police confirmed that an undisclosed number were released pending further inquiries. Police said the gangsters were wanted in connection with the ongoing gang warfare, shootings and home invasions in Port of Spain and environs. Shane Superville, CNC3 News.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick,
in association with our friends at
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
The Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago has called on administrators to be more vigilant amid increasing cyber attacks on public and private institutions. Attorney General Reginald Amor issued the warning as he detailed how the government and the judiciary are seeking to enhance the public service through technology. AG Amor was speaking at the opening of the Caribbean Conference of Chief Justices and Heads of Judiciary on Wednesday, November 16th at the Hall of Justice in Port of Spain. CNC3's Kevin Felmin has more.
After cyber criminals hacked the Ministry of the Attorney General and Legal Affairs Network last July, Attorney General Reginald Amor says experts recovered 95% of the stolen data. Addressing the Conference of Chief Justices and Heads of Judiciary of the Caribbean at the Hall of Justice, Port of Spain, on Wednesday evening, Amor said TNT was well on its way to harnessing the benefits of artificial intelligence through enhancing judicial and government services. As state organizations move towards interconnected digital systems and data repositories, Amor said there are cybersecurity threats that can expose sensitive data and protected information.
This has brought to the forefront of our consideration the need for enhanced and improved cybersecurity measures. The increasing complexity of cybercriminals has signaled the need for proactive and evolved responses by our cyber professionals, as what we are witnessing is effectively a cybersecurity arms race.
Last July's cyber attack forced the ministry to shut down its internal network operations, including email and file access and online connectivity. It affected various departments, including the Chief State Solicitor's Office, the Solicitor General's Department, and the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions.
A team of international and local experts was formed to address the situation, including the Ministry of Digital Transformation of the Government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago and specialized agencies from the Ministry of National Security.
Chief Justice Ivor Archie confirmed there was an attack against the judiciary around the same time by the same criminals. While Archie did not give details, he said the judiciary's hypervigilance allowed it to detect and contain the intrusion at the point of attempt. However, he said the judiciary cannot pat itself on the back and become complacent. The judiciary suffered a shutdown of its email and calendar systems last July, temporarily shutting down hearings.
This is the new reality, and hackers are always adapting. So must we. Judiciaries hold extremely sensitive information about and belonging to customers, litigants, and even jurors. What is best practice? What are the appropriate levels of encryption? These and other questions will be considered as we search for urgently needed solutions.
Archie said he hopes to achieve a convergence of thought on best practices as the conference explores practical ways to improve the Latimer House guidelines that are workable in 2023. Kevin Feldman, CNC3 News.
And now for a regional roundup with Carice Gonzalez of HGP Nightly News out of Guyana.
An extensive fogging schedule will be implemented across each island in the Turks and Caicos in response to the rising cases of dengue fever. The Ministry of Health and Human Services say that the TCI received confirmation of its first dengue case on November 17, 2023. Since this time, through raised awareness with the public and healthcare providers, testing has increased with 13 confirmed cases of dengue being identified to date with a further 74 suspected cases. 8 of the confirmed cases are type 3, which can result in a more severe form of this disease, while type 2 has been identified in 1 confirmed case. The other cases did not meet the criteria for typing. We now bring you news from Trinidad. At least 15 members of the 3 major gangs remain in police custody after a series of raids in and around Port of Spain. Police sources said the raids, described as a gang sweep, were done in response to several shootings and murders in Belmont and St. Anne's within the last several days. Police said the exercise began just after 12 a.m. on Thursday as officers descended on several parts of East Port of Spain, Laventel, Beetham, and Sea Lots, rounding up the suspects. The suspects, including a man believed to be the leader of the 6th gang, remains at police stations across Trinidad. Those arrested, sources said, are suspects in several murders, shootings, and robberies, and are expected to be placed on identification parade. The exercise was sanctioned by Police Commissioner Earl Christopher and led by Deep CP Intelligence and Investigations Kurt Simon, among other officials.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily regional news and more, in association with our friends at Antillian Group.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's a service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.